I mean, what did you think about how the USA did in the Olympics this year?
They did real good. They did that. Look, the team this year, I think that was the best Olympic team ever.
The best what?
Ever.
Now you
Better than Dream Team.
now you know the '92 Dream Team. They never took a timeout during the whole thing. Do you know
Yeah,
that?
but I mean that. Yeah, but the world they weak back then. There wasn't no NBA players in other country like that. Like everybody NBA
Well,
player
I
now. You
do
can't do.
agree that everybody else was a little bit weaker back then. I will give you that. But like this year, 68 players were on the other teams that are NBA players. That's
Yes.
a lot. And, I mean, so I think from here on out, it's actually going to be tougher for them,
They
because,
would have won the Dream Team though. They would won, but they wouldn't like dominate like they did in the little stats they had got. They wouldn't did it. They would won, but they wouldn't. They would be the same like the team with him. They won
I,
like 11,
I
15.
don't know. I mean, that dream team, it had Jordan, Magic Johnson. I mean, it had a lot of good players too, and they had shooters and stuff too. I mean, they wouldn't without them. I mean, back then the three wasn't nowhere near as popular it is now.
No,
But
no.
but who do you think had the standout performances in this year's Olympics for the USA
Oh,
basketball team?
you already know it is Steph Curry.
Yeah, but why didn't he get MVP?
Oh well, this is it. LeBron was really more consistent throughout the Olympics. Cause Curry the first couple games, like he showed up, but I think what it was is it's more like how you play with player like Curry, his game is off ball. So I
Mm-hmm.
think what it was is like he had to really find his like the high streak with the player that he with because like you gotta understand they didn't really need him the first couple games.
Yeah, and I think a lot. I don't see, how Steph Curry was not MVP.
I don't think he was motivated. Like at first, I think the last week he was motivated because they counted. They really mixed him.
So you don't think when the games got really important and they was going against Serbia and they was going against France that he just met the moment?
Yeah, I think because like he had an interview that asked him what he looking forward to. He just looking forward to play somebody coach who are in the gold medal game that we looking forward to. So
Mm-hmm.
I think like the last two games, I think when he started getting hot against Serbia, I knew he knew that it's my time, and that's why everybody kept getting the ball because they know like it's still time now.
Mm-hmm.
Because LeBron was consistent though.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you could look at the stats. I mean, and LeBron's stats throughout the Olympics might be a little bit better. I mean,
Yeah,
but Steph just wouldn't because he got a lot of playing time too, so he
yeah.
wasn't just not showing up. But I mean, those last two games, I mean, he was 17 for 26. That's a 75% 3-point shooting.
That last two games, I mean, he was a monster. I mean, that last 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they like they look like 2016 still.
Yeah, and then he did his little "let's take a nap." I mean, to
We were
France.
talking about Draymond. We were
Yeah,
talking about Draymond. But
right.
Draymond was talking about
Well,
Luka.
see, and that's what, and everybody on social media, right now, if you go on social media, you're seeing all kinds of talking about Steph Curry, Steph Curry, Steph Curry.
Man, that's all I see.
And I just don't see how you cannot make him MVP because, I mean, because they might not have needed him as much against France, but they needed him against Serbia because Serbia came to
Oh
play.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I mean, I'm not mad at LeBron with MVP.
Yeah.
I knew because they been had the poll. Like I seen the poll, they been had LeBron up there, so I knew like if Steph would did like for 4 games, he would have won it. But I knew that I think beyond the wish, I'm not gonna lie to you, John. I think Steph wanted LeBron with MVP. I think that's why he had the games off and he waited 2 games. I really believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really looking to LeBron. LeBron was the leader. I think LeBron was the one that came out and like gave the energy. You know what I'm saying? And then like the other players, cause I believe that once KD got back, so they had to change the little way they played anyway.
Mm-hmm. Or and I don't think KD should be MVP or nothing, but to me, him and Steph Curry was the most unstoppable people in the
Oh yeah,
Olympics. I mean,
yeah,
and it makes me wonder too, because, let's, I mean, Kevin Durant's right at 36 years old. Steph Curry's right at 36. Um, LeBron's at 40 almost. I think he'll be 40 in December. And what saddens me is all these organizations, they're not putting enough around them to play for a championship.
yeah.
Because you got these,
My Lakers and stuff.
the Lakers, the Suns, and I'm going to have to put Golden State in there too, because Golden
Oh
State
yeah,
hasn't made no moves this offseason. They did get Buddy Hield or Hild or whatever his name is to replace Klay
yeah.
Thompson. But, I mean, you got, and you can check back ratings and stuff. You can put Denver and you can put Boston on TV on the Saturday night game, and their ratings are okay. But if you put LeBron and Steph in that same spot on Saturday night, their ratings are way higher than like Jokic. And so you got players that are in their prime, and I want to keep LeBron in his prime. A lot of people say he's probably the 10th or 11th best player in the league. I don't agree with
Oh
that. I don't
man.
agree with that.
Oh man. Now
No.
LeBron's top 10.
Yeah, he's definitely, I'll say top 5 or 6 players, I mean,
Who's better than
You
him?
got Jokic, which everybody,
Okay.
I can give him probably, I'll go ahead and say he's the best player only because he's a couple-time MVP. He's coming
Yeah.
off a championship. But after that, I think it's Curry, Durant, and LeBron in my mind.
I only got like the only could come my man real quick with those guys and then Giannis. That's about it.
All right. Yeah, because,
I can't really think nobody else before LeBron. Like
I mean, Luka Doncic, I mean, you could have him right there with
I forget about Luca.
LeBron. I mean, you could put
I
him
forget
right
about
there
Luca.
with LeBron. But I don't think he's accomplished enough in the postseason in the big games. Because it saddens me. You got definitely the most popular players in the NBA. And I mean, can't none of them get a roster, to support that player. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's sad for all of them, especially Steph, because Steph Curry and LeBron are sitting there on 4 championships, and
Yeah.
everybody always wants to get that 5th championship like Kobe did,
Oh yeah.
because that's the one that makes you big time, not that they're not big time already, but, that just saddens me. I mean, the Suns, they got the 3 stars where they couldn't build a roster around them, and they ain't made no moves this offseason. So I don't know how much better they can be. Lakers haven't really did anything.
No.
I mean,
They're like Cowboys.
yeah,
They ain't do nothing.
yeah, they haven't done anything. And Golden State, like I said, they did replace Klay Thompson with somebody. I don't even know if he's going to be better, than Klay. I mean, probably less money, but it just saddens me that you got the best players in the world coming up on it. Now, if they was struggling and stuff, I could understand it. Let them play a couple more years and retire. But I'm sorry, but LeBron, Steph, and Durant, they're proving that age don't matter. Because
Nah, they don't matter. They anomalies. Whatever you
I
want to
mean,
call
they
it.
really, yeah,
That's
that's a
right.
good term because they really are. I mean, they're not struggling players. And you put play because you seen like, in an Olympic game yesterday. I mean, they were double and triple teaming Curry, and they were leaving LeBron and Durant off the side just standing there.
They
I
have a
mean,
theory
because
to
they were
them.
so shook up about how hot Curry, and that's, and I always say I think Steph Curry really changed the NBA because until he really started going off on threes, then everybody wants to get that in their offense now, and everybody has. But
Yeah.
I think that's the Curry factor. But I mean, LeBron, he's consistent, and he's always consistent. Now,
Oh yeah.
we can have a different conversation about whether he can get a better game for a championship game. Because I think a lot of times, unless you're Steph Curry, you got to make your other players better and get them there. Now, but he ain't got nobody to work with. And Durant, I mean, I think in the Olympics, they had nobody could guard him. I mean, because he's just so tall, and he can shoot from the outside. But see, I always thought, and they started doing it the last couple of games too, because France had 5 fouls quickly. And I think I was telling you the other day, they got to drive the basket. They get them in foul trouble, and because one thing about these foreign teams, and I think going forward in the Olympics is, they got a couple NBA players, but if you start getting into their bench, that's where the separation is. Because
our bench is crazy.
Yeah, because our bench is crazy. That's it. We have a good solid all the way down to the 10th, 12th man. And these other teams, you got to drive the basket. You got to get them in foul trouble. So then that change, they don't have the manpower to stand up, against you. And then Wade Curry moves without the ball.
Man, look, he run like he early 20s. I saw how he move. I'm like, that man he moved fast. He was NBA.
Yeah, he just moves so much. You can't tell me those overseas players that don't play 82 games, wasn't tired trying to guard him.
They never seen it like that because they're not used to seeing.
Yeah, and once he got hot, once he gets hot, it's just like, what was that NBA Jam? Remember that basketball game everybody used to play?
Yeah, he's on fire.
And when the players would get on fire, you just couldn't stop him. He's really like that. He is an NBA Jam player. I used to love to play that game. And, you could pick a couple of people, and once he gets hot, it's over. There ain't nothing you can do with him. There really isn't. And especially if you get tired and you're late on getting on him, he's hitting every three.
He was in anything. He went everything. I saw that last 2 minutes, like the fourth quarter, like it was just like, it like you the other team, you see the other team, like their spirits that went down. It like every time they made a shot, they're like, God dang, man, we was over with, man.
Well, and it reminded me of their last championship when they were playing Boston. And
I joined every minute.
And that one game, he had 50, in the finals. And there just comes a point with Steph, if he gets hot and he gets in his game, you just can't stop him. He's just.
I'm glad you mentioned Boston. I'm tired of people talking about Tatum. He deserved to be on the bench. He didn't deserve to play. The man wasn't hitting nothing.
Yeah.
He wasn't hitting no shot.
Well, and that's every year during the Olympics, social media is going to try to make something out of it. But, everybody can't play.
He overrated, though. He overrated. He's boring.
I always thought he was overrated, too. I think his buddy, who was the MVP, is better.
He's more exciting.
Yeah, I think he's better. And I think the reason they won is they just had such a great team. They won the finals.
They're white.
They just have such a great team. It's just throw too many players at you. But, and you think, because Milwaukee had a down year, I think Milwaukee could have competed with them. If they wouldn't have.
Their coach ain't missed them up.
And the coach changed, and you bring in Damian Lillard. And I think next year with a good offseason and a training camp and stuff, they'll be more equipped to deal. And then you got Philadelphia coming. They just got Paul George, and they got another player. I can't think of who they got, but they got somebody else too.
Don't forget New York.
Yeah, and don't forget New York. You're absolutely right. Old dude took less money. So I don't think Boston's reign is going to last long. I think the Suns, if they can get their roster a little bit better on the bench players, I think they can really make some hay. I hope so.
Man, Booker played great too.
Who?
Booker, he really, Devin Booker, he really underestimated how good he played during the Olympics.
Oh, and he,
But his defense was good.
and he had a lot of playing time. He was just consistent.
Yeah.
He just played his game. It wasn't
He
spectacular.
stayed in lane. He stayed in lane.
Yeah, it wasn't spectacular, but he just played his game. You know what I mean? And I think Steve Kerr even said it. He said he really appreciated, in the interview, Devin Booker, because he was just so consistent and he depended on him. And so he actually had a good Olympics too. But I think going forward, the next Olympics is in LA. So
2028.
yeah, for 4 years from now. And I'll imagine that number will go up on international players on teams. Wemby will be 4 more years into his career. And Wemby, I mean, he had 20-something points in that game. But I mean, he's still got to work on his shooting. And he's got to learn where he needs the ball. And I think Chris Paul will help out with that, and teaching him how to actually get his shot, a good shot. Because, it seems like he's still playing one-on-one basketball and he needs to learn how to play as a team and realize that, I mean, you can score, but somebody got to pass you that ball. I mean, that's just reality. And that's where LeBron excelled at in the Olympics, because he had, I think, 8 or 9 assists a game during the Olympics. And that's what's giving everybody their shots. I mean, everybody's not Steph Curry where he can spin and turn around and create his own shot. A lot of people need it within the offense. I think Durant's one of them players. He can drive the basket and he's pretty good down low and stuff, but he's better if he's within the offense and he's getting those good passes and stuff to shoot, to score.
He can hit one-on-one though. He can get one-on-one if he wants to, but like he don't like to do a lot. He like to go with the flow of the game.
That's what I said. He's a good player. I mean, he can get his own shot, but you don't want a steady diet of that, because if you start to depend on that, they'll start doubling him and hitting him coming down, and then that's going to change. If he can get more points, he can get in the flow. Because that's why he was so good in Golden State, because he was just getting his shots in the flow of the game. I mean,
that was unfair. It was unfair.
Yeah, I thought it was too, and I was sad that they even broke up, and went their own ways, especially since Durant got right back to Phoenix. He went to the big New York market, and then that didn't work out, and he just ended up in somewhere like Phoenix. But so you're good with LeBron winning the MVP?
Yeah, I'm good.
Tell me why he should have won. He should win.
Because, all right, so look, I've been watching the exhibition games. Even during the exhibition, they don't count, but he been consistent through the whole thing. I've been keeping tabs.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't had no bad game. LeBron had no bad game in this whole Olympics. Ain't no game we say, dang, LeBron, you know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? We ain't seen nothing like Curry. He had a couple bad games. We're like, dang, Curry. Like, it was like Curry playoff run. He has a game, he's like, dang, Curry didn't know if he just flowed.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's a shooter, so like, it happens though.
All right.
But once he got hot, I knew once he got hot the Serbian game, I said, this game, it's over. He gonna do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he knows now that, hey, I'm been gonna take these boys. I got my shot back now. I'm good now. I think really the cup game, I think he was just enjoying the first cup game. I think he was just enjoying being over there. I don't think he really was taking it serious.
Well, Steph Curry, that was his first Olympics.
Yeah, I don't think he really was taking it. I don't think he taking it serious like this to the last 2 games. I think when he saw, I think because they played Serbia already, they played on 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they played 3 times. And I think when they got to that game, I think they knew like, yo, I gotta show up. 'Cause I think what it was, dude, I think really, because Draymond was talking. And, I think he got motivated.
They fell down that last game, down by 17.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really ignited Curry.
I think
he was like, we're not going down. Because, if they'd have lost.
Yeah, I think he said, let me stop.
Yeah, if they'd have lost against Serbia, they would have been out. Yeah. They would have been in a. Yeah. I don't even think if they'd have lost against Serbia, they wouldn't even been in a bronze medal game.
Oh no!
They would have been down to 5 or 6, and that would have been a total nightmare for Team USA. So
USA press the nuke button. We press the nuke button
right,
on Steph.
yeah,
Like they
NBA
hit the nuke
Jam,
button
baby,
real
let's do
quick.
it. Yeah, because
They start playing.
Durant livened up, during that second half against Serbia and Curry, and they just forced their will. And they always, one thing is Team USA is always better defensively.
Yeah.
They can lock people down. They can get a bunch
And
of.
I didn't know they had no 3 seconds. They had no 3 second to go. I didn't know that till I was watching the
There was a
video.
lot of crazy
I'm like,
things.
what?
And a lot of people struggle with the physical part of it. Because you can be so physical and you ain't going to get that foul. Kind of reminds me of back in the day when Jordan was so good because everybody's so physical with him and it's still ripping them to
Yeah.
pieces. But but it's a real physical game. Plus, you can actually take the ball, you can block it above the rim. There's a lot of differences in that game. I think Wemby, if he would have really realized the rules, he could have been a little bit stronger defensively, getting up there and block shots and stuff like that, even though it's close to the rim, you know. But yeah, and we're going to agree to disagree because I just think with everything with Steph Curry and that's all anybody's talking about, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say they should have gave him. I think he was deserving an MVP,
Well, Curry my favorite player, so I don't have
Right,
no
I
problem
know,
saying
yeah.
that.
And I think LeBron's one of your favorites too. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I would have had no problem with it. I gave it to Curry, and I don't think anybody would have had a problem with that.